and 4 wins off the top 4. The top 4 are guaranteed a playoff spot. The 4 best 5th place teams from the 5 groups will also make it through to the next round. Our feature Group A game this evening is one the majority will have down as an away win for this Άρης team. You look at 3 Americans who can do a bit of everything. Devon Marble, Michael Jenkins and Will Kάμινγκς, all key players. Eric Buckner, another American, is a key presence inside with his blocking ability. And towards the bottom of the list, you can see missing Vlado Jankovic, the number 28, who has been big since signing back on game day 4 on loan from Valencia. Tόμás Lárke, they're one of the key players for Báken Béars. And we'll see their roster here. Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ is their superstar by some distance there. Leading scorer, 17.7 points per game. And back in the lineup, Michel Diouf, number 11, 10.2 points and team highs of 7.1 rebounds and 1.8 blocks per game. He's missed the last few, and that is a huge boost for the Bears to have him returning here this evening. And he will look to go toe-to-toe, a big battle inside with Eric Buckner. Also, as far as the Bears are concerned, Mike Gasol, their main facilitator, 3.7 assists per game. And Lárke, I mentioned, another player averaging in double figures, just over 11 points per game, but there is a distinct lack of strength in depth outside of those key players that I've mentioned. Άρης being introduced to the fans in this arena. They've changed many pieces of their roster prior to this campaign. The outcome has been pretty successful so far, though. A balanced offense that sees 5 players currently averaging above 11 points a game. And at the other end of the court, it has been a typically steely defense. They rank first in the competition in steals, 5 players averaging over a steal a game. And as always, they have a good support wherever they go. Báken Béars started this campaign bringing back Stefan Vick as head coach, a club legend after making them into a Danish powerhouse in recent years. They retained Michel Diouf at centre, which was a huge boost ahead of this campaign. They have struggled, though, to build in recent weeks with him out of the team. And even with Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ, who's become one of the leading scorers in the competition, the 4th leading scorer in the whole of the Basketball Champions League, it has been incredibly tough. And as I mentioned, there is a lack of depth outside of their 3 or 4 key players. So to have been missing Diouf over the last few weeks, it has not helped their cause. But he's back, and maybe the Bears will be back in business here tonight. Their team did a good job on the offensive glass in the first meeting between these two. Back on game day 2, 16-8 in their favour in terms of offensive rebounds. They also managed 8 blocks in that game in Greece, but they turned the ball over 21 times, 10 more than Άρης, and they shot it terribly, just 6 of 20 from the outside and only 37% inside as well. Άρης, on the other hand, were over 42% inside and out and never really looked threatened. They led for 38 of the 40 minutes of play. Báken Béars will be desperate to give them a sterner test here this evening. So Báken Béars 1-7 so far, beat Estonian side Tartu in both legs of their qualifying round tie, but they've lost 7 of their 8 regular season games, and by an average margin of over 20 points per game as well. Now one triumphant night coming on home court when they shocked the whole competition to beat Fraport Skyliners by 6 points. They've not been able to build off that. They lost by 19 against Naharia, by 17 at Banvit, and last week by 34 at Nymburk. Aris Thessaloniki 5-3 in the Basketball Champions League. Started, as I mentioned, with a 4-game win streak. They have lost 3 of their last 4 now. They lost 3 in a row. And a promising run at the start of their campaign included that 16-point win over Báken Béar's on game day 2. Here's their starting 5. Players that I've mentioned, Cummings and Jenkins. Mortosh gets the start, as does Cyrelis and Dragicevic, the Serbian who has done well, averaging over 7 points per game for head coach Dimitra Priftis's team. And how well has he done? The 2016 Greek League Coach of the Year and an assistant on the Greek national team at Eurobasket 2015 and the recent Olympic qualifying tournament. Team go up against this Báken Béar's starting 5. No place in the starting 5 for Juff. There is a place for Lárke and Akún-Pursel, who I've mentioned. Chris Christopherson gets the start, the 37-year-old centre for head coach Stefan Vik's team. He is Danish basketball's most successful coach of all time, turning the Bears into a real powerhouse, 14-time Danish champions, and hoping to continue their journey in the Basketball Champions League, although they are asking an awful lot of their team to try and make it into the top 4 or 5 in this group now, given their start. Just 1 win in the first 8 games, and given the opposition here tonight, it's going to be very tough indeed.
Get on, run, have fun. Second offense, we play full side for that.
So here we go. This is a matchup truly fitting for the Basketball Champions League. 2 legendary champions in their respective realms. Báken Béar's the 14-time Danish champions against Aris Thessaloniki, the 10-time Greek champions, live on game day 9 of the Basketball Champions League here on livebasketball.tv. I think you can probably say for the Báken Béars, if they do still harbour ambitions of making it through to the next round, they have to win their games on home court now. 6 games remaining, including this one in the regular season. There are a couple of wins off 5th, 4 wins already off 4th. So here we go. It is the Bears who control the opening tip and look for the first score. The screen set by Chris Christopherson, and the basket good for Adama Darbo. What a fantastic start. There will be a wonderful atmosphere in this arena for this one this evening. The Danish fans really thriving on seeing their team in a competition like this, and the Greek fans, as ever, a travelling force on the road, a band of brothers who will bring the noise. Will Cummings to inbound for Aris. He gets it handed back on the outside from Mortosh. Chance to maybe put this one up high off the glass, wouldn't go down though, and the rebound grabbed by Chris Christopherson. A real crowd favourite here. Akún-Pursel able to gather at the second attempt. 4th leading scorer in the Basketball Champions League. Here he goes towards the stripe, that's well short. And maybe a case of the commentator's curse striking Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ early on. He has averaged 17.7 points per game, as well as 2.4 steals and 5.1 rebounds in this competition, the 23-year-old American. And they will need all of their big guns firing if they're to beat Άρης Thessaloniki this evening. Akούν-Purcell has just picked up a foul as well, so not a good opening minute to the contest for him. Coming to the inbound pass to Michael Jenkins. Jenkins gets the ball back again, long two, over the top of the defence won't go, so they're 0 of 2 from the field to start Άρης. And here comes Darbo, who's got the only points of the game so far. Back it goes to Akún-Purcell. That's a lovely pass in, the foul and the roll for the 37-year-old Kristoffersen. A chance here for the Bears to start with a 5-0 run. He's only averaging 3 points per game in this competition and around 14 minutes per game. He's only got 2 here. That was a rather unorthodox free throw. Long one won't go. And here they come quickly down court with Darbo going through the gears, kicks it back out. Akún-Purcell. That's a nice pass inside. Back out to the perimeter. Defense in the air. Long two. Won't fall, but the tip from Kristoffersen, who doubles his tally to 4. And the Báken Bears start with a 6-0 run. Άρης Thessaloniki called timeout. They have started with a drought. The Bears mean business.
Okay, guys, listen. Hey, press the ball more to fight, with side. Every time this guy get the ball here, we go 54, all right? Okay, 54 immediately, all right? Hey, don't go so much easy, to the shot. Try to go, to the contact and get the foul. Like, your shot, try to go the way, all right?
Now, on offense here, can we go the F play? Do we have it? Okay, so... Devon down for Chris. Devon out here, Chris up here, Adam goes up here, Chris to the hole. Thomas up here. Schüler, you start here, you go up here. Og nu Carter herover, så kan det være.
You can see there all 6 points so far coming in the paint. And a large thanks to that man, Kristoffersen, with 4 of them. And Άρης having to call a timeout to try and stop the run of the Báken Bears right out of the gates. Tipped by Akún-Purcell, the turnover off the back of the timeout. Here he goes into the paint, back to the perimeter. Darbo thought about the 3. Lárke will take it on instead. Can't continue the momentum. Michael Jenkins. Can Άρης finally get themselves on the board here? Kάμινγκς towards the paint. They'll take on the 3 from the top of the key. And they halve the deficit with Tádija Draγκίσevitς. Άρης can maybe start to settle themselves now. Lárke's 3 at the other end, just a few centimetres off. Here's Kristoffersen inside, up against 2, and he gets fouled right at the end of the shot clock. Good work from him again. So much talk about the return of Michel Diouf, but it's Kristoffersen who's got the start at centre. And it's proving a very good decision from Coach Vic. And that last basket for Draγκίσevitς, huge for Άρης though, to finally get them on the board after 2 minutes. And you just think Lárke missed one a few seconds earlier at the other end. Had he hit and Draγκίσevitς missed, it would have been a 9-point game. Instead it's a 3-point game. 6-point swing, and Άρης look like they're going to profit from Chris Kristoffersen being at the foul line here, not being able to make them count, although he does get a second chance at the second one. Oh of 3. If you count that last miss so far for him. He misses again. 2 fouls apiece on each team. Less than 3 minutes in, here's Cyrelis. Hands it off to Gουίλ Κάμινγκς. 24-year-old American, lightning fast crossover. Great adjustment as well. And he drove right down the throat of the defense to score. Darboe, just a 1-point game now after that promising start for the Bears. And Darboe threw it away. Behind Sylvester Berg, the 18-year-old who'd gone the other way. Look at that for a crossover. Between 2 or 3 white shirts, he adjusted underneath the rim. Chance for Άρης, after that poor start, to take the lead here now. Across to the far side it goes. They look to get into the paint. The kick out to Kάμινγκς for the 3. Got it. And Άρης have responded with an 8-0 run. Having trailed 6-0, they're up 8-6. Here's Darboe. Kristoffersen playing further away from the basket this time. Lárke looking to go around the screen maybe. Kristoffersen rolls inside up against Kάμινγκς. He's got the mismatch there. Too far away from the basket though. Lárke tries to go alone and can't hit. Michael Jenkins, bounce pass. Cyrelis hangs it up and puts it in. Clinging onto the ball. And looking maybe to go one-on-one is Darboe. Away from Kάμινγκς, but he just ran into a defensive pocket and he's called for the travel. They picked their moment to pounce, Άρης. And there was just no way through. Πρώτος moving the ball on, quickly across to the far side. They'll drive the baseline back towards Cyrelis, but deflected. And a chance for the Bears to come in transition. Coast to coast all the way. They get back in business with Darboe. The 10-0 run of the Greeks comes to an end. Darboe has half of Μπάκεν Μπέαρ's points so far, and there's a clash involving Tádija Draγκίσεβιτς and Sylvester Berg. He just got caught over the back of the neck there as Draγκίσεβιτς looked to turn towards the baseline. The foul did go the other way, and Berg will take a seat. Inbound pass out to Πρώτος. Midway point of the first quarter, Πρώτος into the paint. A little bit too long. The tip, though, won't fall. And they secure the rebound with Kitsing, who's come in. Darboe, 4 points so far. He'll fire the 3, and now he's got 7, and the Bears are back ahead. It's been a first 5 minutes of runs. Here's Πρώτος. Up against the double team, passes out of it. The free man in the corner is Kάμινγκς. Can't answer back with a 3 for Άρης. So the Bears now on a 5-0 run to get themselves back ahead. Here's Lárke. Shimmying around the frame of Kristoffersen, but then tried to link back with the big man and threw it a little too high. Here's the 3 for Darboe. Defense backed off at their peril. And he will take his first rest of the evening with a shake of the head. Chris Kristoffersen, 4 points in the opening 5.5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. Dragicevic. Dragicevic able to roll away from the double team, can't get it to go. There's a battle for the rebound and Simsak comes away with it. Back he goes to Jenkins. Into the final 4 minutes of the first. Again, he passes out to the double team. That's lovely ball movement as Dragicevic plays his way out of trouble as well. And it left his teammate with a simple basket. Akún-Pursel able to pass it out. The three ball drops again. This time, Christian Kitsing. A couple from downtown for Báken Béar's. Michael Jenkins. Dragicevic moving away to his right. Jenkins looking to shoot himself perhaps. Moves it on to Simsak. Simsak with the roll towards the baseline. Congested in the paint and there's contact. The foul is on Tόμas Lárke. Fourth foul in the first on the Bears, with 3 minutes and 9 seconds to play. Mike Gasol is coming in, 23-year-old American who leads this team in assists with 3.7 a game, also 9.1 points per game and 1.2 steals. And the line is Tádija Dragicevic, Serbian power forward. This one to try and get Άρης level. Almost 7 minutes in, 14-14. Akún-Pursel prodding and probing, and now trying to penetrate. Forced back by the defense though. They move it on, Kitsing. Oh, halfway down that one, just wouldn't go for it. There's a foul underneath though. In fact, is that a goaltend call? So the basket counts for the Bears. Jenkins, the guilty man for Άρης. Xanthopoulos into the game for them. Here is Jenkins. Xanthopoulos taking up his position on the wing on the far side. Here's Devon Marble who's in as well, looking to drive straight away, and he's able to hit with the defense tracking him all the way into the paint. Created some room and knocked it down. Nikolai Iversen handing off to Akún-Pursel. Akún-Pursel trying to get himself going here, driving in and getting contact. Third foul on Άρης, and Akún-Pursel will go to the line. Still looking for his first points of this game. This was the drive by Devon Marble. Able to just bump off the body of Kitsing and hang and hit. Fantastic way to announce yourself into this basketball game. The American is averaging over 11 points per game. Devon Marble was actually the leading scorer when these two met in Greece on game day 2, had 21 points. He was 7 of 15 from the field. Akún-Pursel at the line now for the Báken Béars is usually their leading scorer. That's his first point of this ball game. Shooting close to 50% from the field this season, en route to those 17.7 points per game. 14 points, as well as 9 rebounds on game day 2. In the matchup in Greece, although he was just 3 of 12 from the field and had 6 turnovers as well. The final 2 minutes of the first. Xanthopoulos, shot clock's already down to 5 here. He hangs it in high. Dragicevic trying to pass out to the double team, but was nowhere near his teammate. Akún-Pursel Oh, he's split the defense there and got his first field goal of the game. Bάκεν Μπέαρς up by 4. 20 points for them in the first. Draγκίσεβιτς into the final minute and a half. And the foul is called on the perimeter. And it looks like it will go on Kitsing. And it is the 15th foul on the Bears, so Άρης will go to the line. Tόμas Lárkε coming back in for them, for the home team. And they will try and keep their noses in front for the remainder of the first. At the line for Άρης is Photoris Zaras, 29-year-old Greek. 6 points per game in 12.5 minutes per game so far this season. Gets them within 2, halves the deficit. Kitsing. Here's Gusell. Gusell waiting for movement in the offense. The screen set by Kitsing. He's looking to return the ball back to him. And the foul has been called on Zaras. That's the 4th on Άρης. So Bάκεν Μπέαρς will inbound the ball with 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining in the first. Coach Vick's team ahead, but only by 2. Long 2 off the mark, batted back by Kitsing, but straight into the grasp of Devon Marble. Άρης with a chance to tie or maybe even take the lead in the final minute of the first. Here's Mortos. Mortos with the handoff to Xanthopoulos. Across to the far side it goes to Marble. Marble up against Gusell, goes around him, runs into the big frame though of Iversen. They almost drop the ball, but they recover, thrown away. A chance here for Darboe, down court to finish. Bάκεν Μπέαρς ending the first quarter with a flourish, back up by 4. Now can they get the defensive stop? No, they can't, because that's high off the glass for Zaras. Beautiful shot. The shot clock is turned off at the end of the period. Mike Gusell clinging onto the ball as the Bears look for the last shot of the first. He had it knocked away, so Άρης will throw it up. And a really good, really tight, really tense first quarter of basketball comes to an end here with the Bάκεν Μπέαρς up by 2, 22-20. Some really good shooting numbers for both teams.
Now,
let's hear what the coaches have to say.
Try, to see inside Simsak, okay? Now, next offense we play flash for Murto, okay? And you play one-on-one and see,
On defense, let's not make up fouls when it's not dangerous. We have 4 or 5 fouls. Don't make a foul. Don't make a foul when it's. We are.
If they're jumping from out here, stay in front of them. Let them make the shot.
We are working so well together down here that there's going to be a weak side reader. Okay, so keep switching 1 to 5 here. No, 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Chris, you have to hedge. You have to hedge and then get back. Okay?
Hey, Chris is running back into the key. He's not switching out on anything outside, all right?
On offense, we go chin. We go chin and let's go the no zipper play too. Okay? Okay? Hey, hand out on the defense. Come field.
You can see from some of these pictures it's been a really fiercely, hotly contested opening quarter. Adama Darboe 9 points already for the Bάκεν Μπέαρς, 4 of 4 from the field. They lead by 2, 22-20 at the start of the second. And there's a whistle straight away. Off the inbound pass, and the officials have something they want to sort out here. We just heard in the huddle that Coach Vic was saying he wants his team to only foul when it's a dangerous situation. They have to try and keep that foul count down, manage the foul situation, which has been one of their Achilles heels this season. The drive down the baseline for Άρης, the kick out. Still plenty of time to work with. The three is short, and the rebound grabbed by Giselle. Bears with a fantastic start to the game, scoring the first 6 points. They'll try and have a positive start here to the second quarter as well. Akun-Purcell, 4 points for him so far. And it goes to Kristoffersen, who's back in, looking to attack, backing in against Simsak. The hook shot, a soft touch, but he couldn't get the drop. Almost thrown away, but recovered by Zaras. Xanthopoulos. Greeks looking to get themselves level, or maybe even take the lead here. Xanthopoulos just slows it down into the final 5 seconds of the shot clock. Across it goes to Zaras. He'll fire the long three, and he gets it to go to give Άρης the lead. Giselle across to Everson, the 36-year-old Dane. Lárke to answer back with a three. Got it. The Báken Bears back swinging. Xanthopoulos. Devon Marble. Zaras, who hit that three on the last possession for Άρης. He goes around the screen of Simsak. He fires off the glass this time. The bank open for Sodoris Zaras. 9 points for him now. 3 of 3 from the field. Here's Lárke. He'll look to drive in. He created some separation, but he's called for the foul. And he's disappointed with the call. Clear what he's saying. It is going to be Άρης Thessaloniki ball, and we're dead level, 25-25. Xanthopoulos trying to get away from Giselle. On it goes to Devon Marble. Dragicevic inside, spins to the baseline, little push with the left hand, won't fall, and Akun-Purcell comes away with the rebound. Little shake and bait from him, but he lost it to Devon Marble, who stuck with those quick movements all the way and was able to come up with a steal. Here is Marble on the offensive end now. Can't get the three to go. The rebound pulled in by Dragicevic. And two is well short from Vasilis Simsak. A few veterans on court today. Simsak is 35. Akun-Purcell with the miss. Báken Bears, of course, have the 36-year-old Everson and the 37-year-old Kristoffersen. Both of those on the court for them at the moment. Xanthopoulos. Dragicevic. He's a 30-year-old, loses out. A chance in transition for the Bears. The ball dropped, recovered, and put in by Tόμas Lárke. He did well to save the situation. You probably won't get an older set of players on court in any Basketball Champions League game across this game day than we've got right now. Plenty of experience out there. Tόμas Lárke, one of the youngsters at 25, with that last basket to get the Báken Bears ahead. Although he's going to take a seat now. In fact, it looks like we're going to have a timeout. 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. The Bears leading by 2 points.
Will not go out, so it's open shot, okay? If we don't have it, you go for the handoff. All right, guys, don't turn over the ball. Don't turn over the ball. Let's go. Haydi guys.
Defense, defense, guys. 1, 2, 3. Take away the game. Don't slow. Hey. Hey, they have it on baseline now, okay? No. That's not foul. It's not shooting. Doesn't matter. On offense here, let's run. Good old horns here. Okay, good old horns.
Quick transition down court. Lárke lost the handle on the ball, but recovered it well and was able to get his body between the basket and his opponent to finish. Really interesting stat being shown in that timeout. 5 steals to 1 so far in favour of the Bears. And that's even more interesting given that Άρης are the leading team in the whole of the Basketball Champions League in that department. They've thrown it away off the inbound pass. Akún-Pursel all the way down court says thank you very much. The Báken Bears double their lead to 4. And right off the back of the timeout, a careless turnover. 6 points now for Akún-Pursel. Ντραγκίσεβιτς. Zaras, leading scorer for Άρης so far with 9 points. Across it goes to the far side, the handoff. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. They edge their way in. It's another turnover though. Great defense from the Bears again. Adama Darboe looking to get onto double figures. He's called for a travel. And that just swings the momentum a little back the other way. What a chance it was to build momentum. Akún-Pursel taking advantage of the error from Gουίλ Κάμινγκς to go coast to coast. That was followed by another turnover, although the Bears turned it back. And we have another timeout.
Listen, we turn over the ball and we give them 13 points primary because we turn over the ball. Listen, we play head one. I want you after the screen to come very high, you understand? And Sai, come to set the...
Hey, if they're going to make a basket, they're going to make a basket because they made better offense than we did on defense. So we got to be right there on defense, okay? We got to be there. Now on offense here, don't be afraid to execute something. 2 passes and they don't want to play anymore, okay? Let's go the curl play on offense, okay? Good down screen there and let's go curls. Let's go.
You see the fast break points there that Báken Bears have earned because of those steals. It is an ever-increasing steal count now. They've just come up with another couple. 7-1. With Άρης the leading team in the whole competition in that department. So the Báken Bears really fighting to try and get themselves a win. Lead by 4. You heard the coach there saying, well, if Άρης beat us with their quality on offense, so be it. But we don't want to let them in via avoidable mistakes. Shot clock down to 5 again here. They'll fire the 3. Too long. Rebound grabbed by Christopherson. Mike Gasell. Báken Bears with a chance to extend their lead towards the midway point of the second quarter, and we've got a foul over on the far side. Darboe was pulled back. That's the first foul of the quarter on Άρης. It's on their leading scorer, Bodoris Zaras. Adama Darboe to inbound for the Bears, and now Gasell. So looking to create some separation. Thought about attacking Cummings. Here he goes now. Gets inside, tries to squeeze it off the glass. Gasell with a 3rd chance. It is 3rd time lucky. A double offensive rebound. Cyrelis. Zaras. Caught in a cul-de-sac, had to find their way out to Ντραγκίσεβιτς, who misses the 3. Has been shooting well from the outside in this competition. Báken Bears up by 6, which ties their largest lead of the game. And here's Gazelle looking to run the offense up against Cummings again. Christopherson comes deep to collect the ball on the perimeter. Fires it back in towards Gazelle, and it very nearly worked, but the pass was off the mark. And he says, there you go, that was my fault. Gazelle did get himself free in a good position. The 8th turnover from the Bears. Xanthopoulos. It's away off the fingertips of Kitsing is the call. Dragisevitz was challenging for the ball as well. Still Arris possession. Arris have so far scored just 5 points in the quarter in nearly 6 minutes now. Here's Michael Jenkins, gets it back. Wants to go towards the baseline, and he's caught in mid-air by Christian Kitsing. So Michael Jenkins to the foul line. Could have been Christopherson or Kitsing there. Michael Jenkins, 13.3 points, 3 assists, 2.9 rebounds, 1.1 steals so far, and he's playing 24 minutes per game in this competition, shooting the ball well. One of a number of players to have a well-rounded stat line for Arris. There's Darbo taking on the quick three as they played out of the high press. Really gather his balance. It's the Bears' first miss from the outside. They'd hit their first 3 in the game. Oh, picked off brilliantly by Akun-Purcell. Great energy from the leading scorer, and here he comes. Darbo, Kitsing for 3. They missed 2 in a row. Arris with a chance to close the gap again with Xanthopoulos. Hung high. Dragisevitz moves it on, and it's put in by Tyrelis, who has a chance to complete the 3-point play. And Arris all of a sudden, having trailed by 6, are back within touching distance. We're just over 3 minutes of the first half to play, and we're going to have another timeout. When we return, the Greeks will have a chance to close the gap to just 1.
Dribble back to me, handoff. No, wait for him, you know, when you play here, be aggressive. And you are going to create. Especially let's raise up now. Hey, let's go. Now on 12, I roll from the rotation.
We are. So now we have to step up mentally right now and attack everything. Hey, when they play this, we go guard to guard. I want Devon right up here. Get the ball.
Yeah, move on offense. Let's go. Come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Anything here, Devon is coming towards the ball. Okay? Let's go, buddy. He's gonna miss this. He's gonna miss this free throw.
A really close and hard-fought game here in the Basketball Champions League. You can hear it and see it on livebasketball.tv, where you can actually find every single game live in this season's competition. And what a competition it has been so far, and will continue to be as the games get bigger and bigger and the stakes get higher as we move towards the playoffs. Well across the midway point of the regular season now. 40 teams will be reduced into the playoff rounds and all the way to the final 4 in the final. Giselle getting contact from Xanthopoulos. Arris certainly a team that have their sights set on the latter stages, the playoffs at least. The Backham Bears are just delighted to be here, having to come through qualification rounds but really looking to leave their mark on the inaugural edition of this competition. And still not too far beyond them, the playoffs, although it is a mountain to climb. And here goes Kάμινγκς. He gets contact and puts it in. And Άρης in front as the Greek streak continues. And a chance again for a three-point play for Άρης Thessaloniki. The Greeks putting themselves in the driver's seat before half-time. They've trailed by 6 twice now and been able to get themselves back into a leading position on both occasions. The free throw missed, so the lead is as slender as it can be. Gasell up against his opposite number, Kάμινγκς. Fist pass through from Sylvester Berg. It was aimed at Akún-Pursel. Struck the legs of one of the Άρης players. Big occasion this for Sylvester Berg. He got the start. The 18-year-old, he's only played a very brief role so far, 7 minutes per game. He did have a good performance when these two met on game day 2. 3 of 3 from the field for 9 points. Here's Akún-Pursel, can't force it through. He's trying to do it all himself, and there was no room to operate. Άρης coming down court, and a chance for another three-point play. For the 3rd time in the last couple of minutes, it's Kάμινγκς who goes coast to coast. And they missed the last and one. Now they're going to miss another. They're certainly building momentum. They lead by 3 now. And Kristoffersen will take a seat as Nikolai Iversen comes in. We haven't seen Michel Diouf, and despite his presence here this evening and his name on the roster, it may be that they see him as too big a risk, unless it is this close perhaps in the second half, and then maybe it's worth the risk. Gasell calling for it is Akún-Pursel. It goes across to Darboe. Darboe pulls up for the 3, and he got fouled on the 3-point shot. So Adama Darboe with 3 chances to move on to double figures. He would be the first player in the game to hit that milestone, and a chance to get the Μπάκεν Μπέαρς back within 1 point with just 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Second personal foul on Vasilis Xanthopoulos. There are a few players on 2 fouls for both teams. Just 1 on 3, and that's Tόμas Lárke. That's been a big blow in this first half for the Μπάκεν Μπέαρς. One of their key players picking up 3 fouls early on, so his action limited in this second quarter. Adama Darboe's doing the business at the line. Now has 12 points, and the Bears are within 1. Xanthopoulos moving it on. Gasell on defense against Kάμινγκς, and they turn it over, Άρης. Right under the nose of the referee on this near side. Draγκίσεβιτς, the culprit. So into the final 2 minutes of the first half, and the Μπάκεν Μπέαρς have a chance to lead again. Gasell getting away from Kάμινγκς. He'll stick with him. Iversen up against Draγκίσεβιτς, looking for Akún-Pursel. It goes the other way. Here's Berg trying to split the double team as he burst through a gap in the defense, but it was, I think, off his knee, deflecting away out of bounds. So it's not quite come together yet for the 18-year-old this evening. Fodoris Zaras, who's one of the Άρης players on 2 fouls, comes back in. Bάκεν Μπέαρς with 9 turnovers now, level with Άρης. Although for the Bears, 9 is the total they had in their defeat last week. They protected the ball very well against Sons, but still lost by 18 points here. They didn't shoot well inside. They hit 10 three-pointers though for 44%. And as I say, protected the ball well, but they still really struggled. Gουίλ Κάμινγκς is at the line for Άρης, looking to help ensure that they lead at the half. It's thrown out towards the perimeter to Darbo and off the mark, and this is not the finish to the half that the Bάκεν Μπέαρς are looking for. Άρης looking to extend their three-point advantage as we approach the final minute of the second quarter. Ντραγκίσεβιτς. Kάμινγκς. Back to Ντραγκίσεβιτς again. He turned into the double team. Great play from behind by Iversen to steal the ball, and here they come down court to finish with Tόμas Lárke, who's back in and playing on 3 fouls. No, in fact, it's Sylvester Berg, the number 6. The 18-year-old who gets Άρης on the ropes again. Bάκεν Μπέαρς within a point. Almost turn it over again. Zaras found a way out, but threw it up and missed it. Berg releases it quickly. Darbo on the far side, trapped by Jenkins. Only a 4-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first half. Bάκen Μπέαρς still hoping to nudge their noses in front. Gissel. They turn it over again, although there's a foul called. It would have been a turnover, I'm sure. The foul is called with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock and 8 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's on Cyrelis. So Sylvester Berg, having just scored his first field goal, now gets his first foul shots. The 18-year-old with an opportunity to give the Bears the lead with 8.3 remaining in the second. And they won't lead because he misses the first, but they could still tie. Just 1.6 points per game in 7 minutes per game so far in this competition. This is both of them. Άρης will lead at the half, but by how many? Here goes Kάμινγκς. They get a good shot away at the buzzer. A big blow to the Bears. And it's the Greeks who lead at the end of 2. And Tádija Ντραγκίσεβιτς is clutch at the buzzer. Clearly got it off in time as he stepped backwards away from the defense, hit the long 2, and Άρης Thessaloniki have the edge in Aarhus. We'll have a look at this again, but it's clear. There's the release. Well, the clock changes there, doesn't it? But he clearly released it in time. So at the end of 2 quarters of basketball, the Bάκεν Μπέαρς have fought well, but they still trail Άρης Thessaloniki by 3. It is the Greeks who lead 39-36 at half-time. Here's a look at the overall shooting numbers. Άρης not doing too well from the outside, but look at the foul shots, 10 of 11 for 91%, close to 50% inside. The Bάκen Μπέαρς shooting the ball well in all departments apart from at the line. The rebounding numbers very even. Harris moving the ball a little better, but Bάκεν Μπέαρς 9 steals to 1 in the first half. And remember, Άρης are the leading team in the Basketball Champions League in terms of steals. No blocked shots yet. Bάκεν Μπέαρς are usually pretty good in that department, and we might see a few in the second half if Michel Diouf enters the fray. Here's a look at the leaders. 12 points for Bάκεν Μπέαρς from Adama Darboe. 4 of 5 from the field so far to lead them. In terms of the other categories, Casal has 4 rebounds, as does Cyrelis for Άρης. Darboe 3 steals in one half of basketball. He's been very impressive indeed so far. And sparked the initial run that got the Bάκεν Μπέαρς up by 6. Άρης came back with a 10-0 run though to lead. Bάκεν Μπέαρς had another run to get themselves back ahead. Chris Christopherson was doing some damage early on, but Άρης weathered the storm and came back strong. Still haven't really produced their best basketball yet, and perhaps it's an ominous sign for the Bears that their shooting percentages are so good, yet they still trail by 3 at half-time. We'll see in around 10 minutes' time if they can keep it as close as this in the second half. Do join us for that at half-time though. It's the Bάκεν Μπέαρς 36, Άρης Thessaloniki 39. Welcome back to Aarhus, Denmark, where Aris Thessaloniki of Greece lead the Bάκεν Bears, albeit by just 3 points as we get ready to start the second half. They lead 39-36. And Chris Christopherson, you can see there, playing a part in a really good start to the game for the Bears, who scored the first 6 points of the first quarter, although Aris responded with a 10-0 run. And it has been back and forth since then. Akún-Pursel took a while to join the party, but then finished the half with 6 points. The home team led by the 12 of Adama Darbo, who's 4 of 5 from the field, and also has come up with 3 steals, as has Akún-Pursel, by the way. His steal count 9-1 in favour of the home team. Aris led by the 12 points of the number 12, Gουίλ Kάμινγκς. Have also had 9 from Thodoris Saras. I wonder if Bάκεν Bears can keep it as close as this in the second half. They have shot the ball very well indeed, over 53% from the field. They've only taken 5 3-pointers, hit 3 of them. Although they have turned the ball over 10 times already, but so have Aris. This game coming to you, available live on livebasketball.tv, as every single game in this competition is through the course of the season for just a small subscription fee each month. 40 teams on display in the Basketball Champions League from 22 different countries. It's going to be narrowed down soon for the playoffs. The games will get bigger and bigger.
Let's get the start, and first of all, we play simple horn. So this is Murtos, and this is Zenki. You go from zigzag, Nagi, you cut, you pass the ball out, and we go here, double drag, and I want Murtos to set the down big to Gουίλ. Flare, I'm sorry, yes, Flare. Okay, you understand? Okay, all the way, with the speed. Hey, let's go, guys, side, 1, 2, 3.
12 points in just 13 minutes on court so far for Gουίλ Kάμινγκς. 4 of 5 from the field as well, as is Adama Darbo, who has 12 points in 16.5 minutes so far, as well as those 3 steals. Can the Bάκεν Bears keep up that defensive intensity here in the third quarter? Start of the second half here on game day 9 of the Basketball Champions League in Aarhus. Bάκεν Bears trail by 3, and here they go, straight from the first inbound pass. Darbo shows their intentions in this second half. He gets fouled on his route to the rim, and will go straight to the foul line for a chance to get the Bears within 1. Just 7 seconds from the inbound pass to get to the foul line. And Adama Darbo makes it 4 of 4 from the stripe so far. Positive start for the Bears. It's 5 of 5, 14 points. And the Bears trail by just 1. Here's Kάμινγκς. Dragicevic handing the ball off, and Jenkins was looking to try and move it back towards this side, but they've turned it over. Aris Thessaloniki. So the Bάκεν Bears have themselves an opportunity to get ahead in the second half. The screen on the move from Vasilis Simcak. Akún-Pursel 6 points in the first half, looking to score straight away in the second. Just tried to do a bit too much. We saw that a couple of times in the first half as well. Here's Kάμινγκς out to the far side. The 3 off the mark, rebound grabbed by Christopherson. And here goes Akún-Pursel again. Goes back to Chris Christopherson. It's about as far away from the basket as you'll see him on the offensive end. Now maybe a look to set the screen. He moves inside. Darbo across to the far side, picked off though by Jenkins. 2-on-1 here on the fast break. Kάμινγκς comes down court, and scores. So he continues his scoring prowess from the first half. Akún-Pursel calling for it again, but Darboe didn't release it on time, and they've turned it over once more. Kάμινγκς, quick pass. Dragicevic on the mark, back-to-back baskets for Άρης. And the Greeks very much back in business. The lead has grown to 5. Lárke in the game on 3 fouls. Sat for most of the second quarter. Bounce pass, Akún-Pursel, the spin move and the finish. Beautifully done. A sprinkling of stardust from their superstar. 8 points now for Akún-Pursel. Jenkins to Dragicevic. Back out, the 3 for Jenkins, good. They have hit 3 in a row. And Άρης lead by 6, despite the best efforts of the Bears. Lárke meandering his way through the paint. Tόμas Lárke. Here's Jenkins. Jenkins again. The pick and roll, it comes out to the outside though to Kάμινγκς. Dragicevic, shot clock down to the final seconds. And he rides the challenges into the paint. And will go to the line with 3 left on the shot clock. And Sylvester Berg, the 18-year-old, is clearly riled by the call and has to be restrained by some of his teammates. Tádijia Dragicevic at the foul line and adding to his impressive tally so far, now into double figures. Άρης back up by 6. Lárke. Kristoffersen with the high screen. The handoff to Akún-Pursel. Goes around the frame of Kristoffersen. He'll try and squeeze it back to him. And goes across to the corner instead, but Berg had moved a little further out of the corner. And the Báken Bears are turning the ball over at will in this third quarter. There you go, that's 3 turnovers in less than 3 minutes in the third. 13 altogether for the Bears. Kάμινγκς to Jenkins. Jenkins looking to go around the screen. He'll pull up from the outside. Misses that one, and Akún-Pursel grabs the rebound. Fourth of the game for him. Just beyond the foul line, he stops and puts it up and puts it in. Maybe we'll see Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ trying to take over a bit more in the second half. 10 points now, 4 of 7 from the field. Almost came up with a steal there. Here's Jenkins. Calling for it is Dragicevic. It goes the other way. Simčák had it knocked away by Akún-Pursel, but it's still going to be Άρης ball. Shot clock is down to 6 though, as Gουίλ Κάμινγκς gets set to inbound. Can they force a difficult shot here? No, they can't. Good, wide open look, and Michael Jenkins makes them pay. The Άρης lead extended from 4 to 7. Jenkins 2 of 3 from the outside, en route to 8 points in the game. Akún-Pursel ready to inbound the ball for the Bears, who had it knocked away. Here's Darboe. And Juff is into the game. Here he is. Michel Juff knocked away by Jenkins, but a foul. So Coach Vic has picked his moment to unleash one of their main weapons back in after missing a couple of games. Michel Diouf, the Senegalese centre. Here he is again. The handoff, shot clock down to the final seconds, tipped away from Diouf. They can't grab it. And here come Άρης, 3-on-2, fast break. Draγκίσεβιτς, can he squeeze it in? No, Darboe grabs the rebound. Báken Bέarς get let off the hook there. Lárke, the three, wouldn't go. Diouf trying to grab the rebound. Jenkins almost nudged out of bounds, but Cummings comes away with it. Down court, driving right down the heart of the Báken Béar's defence. Cummings looking to attack Darboe, who put his body on the line. What a performance it's been today from Adama Darboe. Blood, sweat and tears going into this. Báken Béar's desperate to celebrate on this court again here in the Basketball Champions League. They trail by 7. What difference will the introduction of Diouf have, though, on proceedings, or they've turned it over again? They're not helping themselves right now, although Άρης have turned it right back, and you can see what Michael Jenkins thinks about that call. He was sure it was knocked out of bounds by Tόμás Lárke. Let's see. He's convinced, isn't he? And it has gone, in the end, Άρης' way, so they got there. Cummings, free route to the basket. Wouldn't go, though. He couldn't find a way around the big frame of Diouf. Darboe, Lárke drives towards the baseline, hangs and hits with a touch off the window. He wanted the contact, he wanted the foul. Lárke with 9 points, the Bears down by 5. Cummings to Draγκίσεβιτς. Jenkins calling for the ball, gets on it now, goes around the screen, into the paint, across to the far side, the three from the corner, won't fall, and Diouf another rebound. He's already started to dominate the boards. Darboe, here's Diouf. Such a long reach, but he can't finish. Akún-Pursel grabbed one on the offensive glass, and he's fouled by Cummings. Michel Diouf just looking to provide a little spark to the Bears now. There's a bit more of an air of confidence in this arena when it seemed to be getting away from them. They've seemed confident right the way from the opening tip, haven't they, the travelling Άρης fans? Akún-Pursel looking to add to his 10 points from the foul line, also 5 rebounds, 3 assists and 3 steals. He's now 3 of 3 from the line, and the Bears have a chance to get within 3 if he can make this second one. And it wouldn't drop for Akún-Pursel. So his first miss from the line, it remains a 4-point game. Báken Béars have missed a few now from the strike. They can't afford missed opportunities against this kind of opposition. Inside, nice hesitation and put in by Tyrellis. Shot won't go down for the Báken Béars, and the rebound grabbed by Jenkins. 6-point lead for the Greeks. Jenkins to Draγκίσεβιτς. The three, off the mark, rebounds to Xanthopoulos. And they will take their time. Xanthopoulos to the far side. Quick release on the three this time. Another miss from the outside. And finally the Bears come away with it. Gasol moves it on. Lárke around Xanthopoulos. Wide open three for Everson, but he can't hit. We've Got a bit of a drought at the moment from these two teams. That's a lovely pass. There's another one. Brilliant team basketball from Άρης. And Mihalis Tyrellis provides the finish. A couple of wonderful passes. The first there, the second here from Xanthopoulos. And the simple layup for Tyrellis. A play that forces the Μπάκεν Μπέαρς timeout.
Hey, good call with the ice. We can still switch it, so we still get over the top on the ice. Big guys step up, okay? You know what I mean? We switch 1 to 4, miss your head hard. We're getting over the top on everything. Whether it's an ice, a switch, a hedge, we're getting over, okay?
We go fight for solution. Hey, go everybody for the rebound. Everybody rebound, okay, guys?
Hey, listen. Hey, yo, motion, they're not guarding the curl like I just threw to Billy. They're not guarding that good. Look for it. If it's Spiros, throw it up.
Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ for the Μπάκεν Μπέαρς, one of two players in double figures, although Άρης have two in double figures themselves now. Ντραγκίσεβιτς with 11 and Kάμινγκς with 14. There's another 3 for Άρης approaching that milestone. Tyrellis, Jenkins and Zaras. Άρης up by 8. Gasal, it's going to be a long 2, and he got it. Big, big basket for the Bears. They desperately needed a lifeline. All the momentum was with the Greeks. It had been the largest lead of the game. And up stepped Mike Gasal. It's only his second field goal. A high press. And it's out of bounds off Gasal twice. The Μπάκεν Μπέαρς almost forcing a turnover, putting the pressure on Άρης on the inbound pass. That was ever so close. And that one's a foul. And they pick their moment to try and pounce and force a turnover, but Άρης have survived. Devon Marble will inbound. Maintain that press. Xanthopoulos caught by the double team. And they have so nearly forced the turnover. Instead, Tádija Ντραγκίσεβιτς says, "Thank you very much." 3 down court for the easy 2. That's the price that the Bears pay. Gasal towards the baseline, able to hang and bank it in. So Mike Gasal providing a bit of a scoring spark now for the Bears. They still trail by 6. 2 minutes of the third to play. Needs to be, you feel, a promising, optimistic 2 minutes for the Bears heading into the fourth. Marble. 3 over on that side. Xanthopoulos, shot clock's already down to 3 here. He's trapped by the double team, found a way out. They move it inside, and it's a shot clock violation. And look at the celebration on the Bears bench. They all jumped up as if they'd won the game. But it was excellent team defense from Coach Vic's side, forcing the turnover. They've worked so hard to try and force an Άρης turnover here in the third. Akún-Pursel, the 3 won't go, just the rebound. A fresh 14 to work with. Gasal, Akún-Pursel again, this time driving to the baseline, back in towards the paint, adjusts his body beautifully and finishes. So Μπάκεν Μπέαρς within 4. 1 minute and 20 to play in the third. Akún-Pursel now has 13 points. Can they force a defensive stop again? Devon Marble. Across to the far side, 3 for Ντραγκίσεβιτς, won't go. Gasal the rebound. The Μπάκεν Μπέαρς building momentum at the end of the third quarter, Jeff calling for it. Gasal goes the other way to Akún-Pursel though. Gasal onto the left hand, Jeff inside, Gasal the 3, got it! and it's a 1-point game. And Báken bury a big blow. The Bears are standing tall at the end of the third. Here goes Marble into the paint. Circus shot won't fall for him, but he was fouled. Well, Mike Gasol had just one field goal in the game, and he's hit 3 in a row now, including the 3 that's got them within a point. That's going to be the 4th foul on Tόμás Lárke, which is a blow for the Bears. But he will remain in the game by the looks of it. 28.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Devon Marble at the line for Άρης. There's about a 15-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the period. And Devon Marble misses the first foul shot. Just 2 points so far for Devon Marble, and he'll remain on 2. Misses both of them. Had 21 when these two last met. The Báken Bears have a chance to get themselves ahead. Lárke, the handoff, Akún-Pursel looking to drive. Gasol, he's got the hot hand at the moment. Will he shoot again? Getting inside, high off the glass, Juff the rebound. Didn't touch the rim. Then it did, but Juff was off the mark, and they'll throw it up from half court. Xanthopoulos banks it in at the buzzer. What a blow for the Bears, who'd fought so hard at the end of the third. But that is a real dagger in Denmark to the Bears' hearts. So Άρης up by 4 at the end of 3, 60-56.
It is very important to start the defense aggressive, not to make stupid fouls, not to give them it.
This is defense, it's spacing, it's running, and it's execution. In that order. Defense first, okay? Now, when we go up and execute, let's put full pressure on them. Full pressure and execution. Let's run the butt play a couple of times here. Let's go, come on.
Guys, defense and rebound. 1, 2, 3.
There have been a number of games for the Báken Bears in this tournament where they've kept it close over 3 quarters of basketball, but then let it slip at the end. And on the other side of the coin, you have to wonder if Άρης start to contemplate defeat at this stage, only leading by 4 heading into the 4th. Maybe Coach Vic would have taken this position for the Bears on home court, trailing by just a few points. And with Άρης a little rattled as well. Although the Greeks did start to protect the ball a bit better. And that was a bit of lovely team basketball. They got the fans singing even louder. But the high pressure from the Báken Bears has forced an error or two. And this is a finely poised basketball game now, heading into the final 10 minutes, thanks to Mike Gasol's hot hand, hitting 3 in a row towards the end of the third. So Άρης Thessaloniki up by 4 at the start of the 4th. A 3-pointer from half court at the buzzer. That's given them a bit of breathing room, and there's another 3 right at the start of the 4th quarter. Michael Jenkins extends the advantage to 7. Everson, Báken Bears are going to have to be at their best over the next 9.5 minutes. Lárke to try and answer back, off the mark. Purcell couldn't steal it. Mortosh. They really need a defensive stop here. already trailing by 7. The task has got even harder for them in the fourth. They don't want to be down by 9 or 10. And there's a foul called on Iversen. Darbo and Chris Christopherson will come in here in the fourth. Larkey on 4 fouls goes to the bench, as does Michel Diouf, who hasn't perhaps had as big an impact as he would have hoped so far. Here's Jenkins, and now Xanthopoulos. That is an absolute dagger. 3 threes in quick succession. The one from half court at the end of the third, 2 already in the fourth, and all of a sudden it's a double-digit deficit. The Bears have to keep fighting and keep trying to execute, but already it started to look like mission impossible. Gasol picked off. 4-on-2, fast break in transition. And that one goes from the outside as well for Dragicevic. It's a long 2, but it's raining outside baskets now for Aris Thessaloniki. They have really taken charge in the opening 90 seconds of the fourth. The lead, the largest of the game at 12. With Backem Bears having reduced the arrears to just a point before the final shot of the third quarter. So in the space of less than 2 minutes, it's gone from 1 to 12. Darbo to the foul line, back to Akun-Purcell, up against Xanthopoulos. They move it around to Gasol, the 3. Oh, he got it! Nothing but net for Mike Gasol. Backem Bears lifeline again. Down by 9, 8 minutes to play. Xanthopoulos. Jenkins able to reel it in, moved across to this corner. Mortosh, the 3, off the mark, batted back though. And a fresh 14 to work with for Aris. Fifth offensive rebound of the game, I beg your pardon. Backem just ahead in that department. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock, but then there's a foul, so it's reset to 14. The foul called on Chris Christopherson. They're desperate for a defensive stop here, the Bears. Move to the corner, wide open 3, Mortosh, no. This time they secure the rebound. They get their stop. Now can they build on the offensive end? Gasol. Still got the hot hand. After his scoring spurt at the end of the third, Akun-Purcell into Christopherson. Able to catch, drew the attention of the defense, knocked away, recovered. Gasol again, another 3. Not this time though, Akun-Purcell knocked it away. A chance to attack for him, and he gets contact. They really are having to work hard and graft out every point. And they won't give up on this one though. They're certainly within touching distance. Akun-Purcell has a chance to make it a 7-point game and to extend his tally to 15. On course perhaps for a double-double as well, with 8 rebounds in the game as well as 3 steals. He's now 4 of 5 from the line. Perfect from Akun-Purcell. 7-point game, 7 minutes to play. They continue that full court press and almost force the error from Xanthopoulos. Here's Xanthopoulos again. Cummings spotted his opportunity to attack but missed the shot. And there's a foul on half court as Darbo looks to come in transition with Akún-Pursel in support. No choice really but to take that one on the chin for Michael Jenkins. Third team foul on Άρης in just over 3 minutes of this fourth quarter. Akún-Pursel, who's playing long minutes again. Hangs but can't hit, and he can't grab the rebound either. He's played pretty much every second, Đέβon Akún-Pursel. Gουίλ Κάμινγκς. Xanthopoulos, Jenkins. Wide open three is good for Kάμινγκς. And Άρης back up by 10. 17 points now for Gουίλ Κάμινγκς. Akún-Pursel. Christopherson trying to work it back to him, but he's stuck to like glue by Xanthopoulos. That one won't bounce for Darboe. And it looks as though the Báken Bears are just going to fall short again. They've shot the ball just as well as their opponents, just haven't had quite as many shots. Kάμινγκς inside, out to the corner, a three. Won't fall contested at the end of the shot clock, but recovered though by Jenkins, who just missed the shot. Kάμινγκς, shot clock down to the final seconds again. He kicked it out, he had a free route to the rim, but it will go from the outside at the buzzer. And that is the difference in terms of those field goals between these two. Άρης starting to light it up from the outside. That's their 9th three. Kάμινγκς could have gone all the way himself, but he said, I'll take the extra point. The three knocked down by Tádijia Ντραγκίσεβιτς.
We go out, Xanthopoulos pass the ball to Jenkins, to Gουίλ, and go corner. Jenkins, you come out, catch.
We only play preset. So you stay out there, you set the screen, and every time you screen, Christian is gonna flare out. Okay? You're gonna flare out. Rest of you guys attack.
Stay space.
Yeah.
When someone drives, that's when you move.
If you get out here, it's gonna play off. It's not gonna be a big roll. Let's go. We gotta get out here. Let's go. Take a slice. Defense, man.
Okay, let's go. 5 minutes. Continue.
Press break, out of bounds me, you will bring here.
I make a screen.
The assist stats highlighted in that timeout really tell the story in terms of how these two teams have set up offensively. Άρης pretty much double the assists of their hosts. They have moved the ball well as a team at times, and the Báken Bears have struggled to do that as they miss a shot from the far side through Kitzing off the back of the timeout. They trail by 13. Jenkins out to Xanthopoulos. On the move, he hits the two, and the lead's up to 15. And now it is surely mission impossible. Lárke tries to answer back and hits a three. Tόμas Lárke not giving up hope. Lárke becoming the 4th Báken Bears player into double figures, and now they force a turnover. It would have to be a catastrophic collapse from Άρης to lose it from here, though. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to play. Having led by 15, now up by 12. The Bears are keeping it closer in most of their games in this competition, though. Akún-Pursel to the baseline, able to bank it in. And he's saying again he got hit. There's not too many players in this competition who can score in that situation with such tenacious defense. It's a 10-point game. Dragicevitz to the far side, the drive down the baseline and the finish for Kάμινγκς. Cassell, Kitzing, Akún-Pursel in the corner. He'll take on the three, can't hit. And again, they're asking for contact. There is plenty of contact in the paint. 3 players down. It's Gουίλ Κάμινγκς, the leading scorer for Άρης Thessaloniki, who looks the most in trouble. 19 points so far for him, and he slipped there on the surface. That did look bad. Maybe a twisted knee. It's great to see him back on his feet and not hobbling too much. That would be a huge blow for Άρης Thessaloniki to lose their leading scorer.
Πρώτος and Simsak. So you switch whatever take place except Simsak. Only last seconds, you understand? Only last seconds. All right, listen. Hey, offense we play head and we go on purpose to the handoff, okay?
Yeah, we can run dog, we can run anything as long as you execute. Now, hey, on offense, switch and keep in front. Switch and keep in front. We're in 100 right now.
I highlighted the field goals a few moments ago. Άρης have taken 4 more shots and hit 3 more in the game. Not a huge differential. They are 12 of 15 from the foul line. Bάκεν Μπέαρς 10 of 16. But Άρης also have hit 4 more from the outside. It all equates to a 12-point lead for the Greeks. 3.5 minutes to play. And they've given it away straight off the inbound pass there. Akún-Pursel spinning and scoring. The goaltend called, so it's a 10-point game. And Akún-Pursel is up to 19 to tie Gουίλ Κάμινγκς as the leading scorer in the game. Quite clear goaltend. Bάκεν Μπέαρς will be relentless in trying to force these turnovers. Xanthopoulos caught, they don't want to foul here. They're able to play their way out of it, and there's the room to attack. And that's the problem when you beat the press. Vasilis Simsak with a chance at a 3-point play. They almost forced the turnover, but then once Άρης play out of it, the Bάκεν Μπέαρς are at their mercy. Cassell. Akún-Pursel. Screen set by Kitzing. Cassell again. 10 seconds to work with here. Kitzing makes his way inside. Cassell jinking and jiving, looking to find Akún-Pursel. And he's fouled. He got away from Mortos. Akún-Pursel might add a few more points to his tally of 19 over the course of the next 3 minutes. The problem is the Bάκεν Μπέαρς can't get enough defensive stops in that time. We've got a timeout. Άρης over the next few minutes looking to put the finishing touches on this win.
Come over here, you understand? Simsak, you're here. Fionis is here. What? Mike, you can. Murto, you open. Xanthopoulos, hit Simsak.
As fast as possible down. And we just going man-man. So we show 100, okay? We don't trap, we just match up man-man. But you don't match up, you run down. Okay? Let's change it. Devon, you go up there. You go up there, Devon, you're down here. Show 100. 100 here. They're showing a play here. Leave everything and match up.
We're going to see a slight change of ploy from coach Stefan Vick and the Báken Bears. Let's see how that plays out over the next few minutes. Ντέβον Ακούν-Πουρσέλ with 19 points for them, 8 rebounds, 3 steals and 3 assists, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He does have a chance to extend his points tally to over 20 here from the foul line. Even if he makes this one, they'll be down 11 with under 3 minutes to play. So that is the differential. They play out of that rather simply. Aris Thessaloniki. Jenkins. Attack out to the high post. The attack inside and the easy layup for Mortos. Lárke behind the back to the foul line. Kitsing will fire the three. Can't hit. And it's still going to be Báken Bears' ball as Jenkins touched it out of bounds. This game being brought to you live on livebasketball.tv. We'll have every single game from the Basketball Champions League for a small subscription price each month. And this is the time to subscribe because we're reaching the business end of the regular season, and then we get into the playoffs and things really start to pick up. We've had some fantastic contests in this competition already this season. The Báken Bears had a big moment themselves on this court, beating the Europe Cup champions Fraport Skyliners, but it looks as though they're going to fall short against the 10-time Greek champions as Aris continue to fire from the outside. The lead up to 16, Xanthopoulos up to double figures, and that is game, set and match now. Lárke denied. Fast break opportunity again. Mortos held up by Berg, still has it. Xanthopoulos in towards the big man, twisting and turning and getting fouled is Simtak. So Báken Bears have lost 7 of their 8 games by around an average of 20 points per game in this competition. It looked as though they were going to be closer in this one, but their team are approaching that 20-point lead again. A chance to make it all the way up to 18 points with Vasilis Simtak at the line. No problem for Simtak, no problem for them. The Aris Thessaloniki supporters ready to celebrate, going 6-3 in the regular season. Here's Berg underneath trying to force it in. They get another chance and it's banked in by Toman. Jenkins across to Xanthopoulos. Foul from behind by Cassell. Just 1 minute and change remaining now. Aris have pulled away in the fourth. But what a big blow to the chin of the Bears it was, that buzzer beater from half court at the end of the third quarter from Xanthopoulos. And then a couple of threes in the opening minute of this quarter. A 1-point Aris lead turned into 12 within the space of 2 minutes of play. And that pretty much was that. Moved around to Berg. Tries to spin in towards the paint. Had it knocked away. Final minute of the game now. Cummings moves it on. Bounce pass from Mortosh was behind its intended target, and Harris turned it over one more time. It's a big tally for them here, looking to cross the 90-point mark. There's Berg inside. Circus shot will fall for the 18-year-old. Sylvester Berg. The three is right on the money. Harris overdrive in Aarhus as they batter the Bears. 18 points the lead again. Across the 90-point mark, another three in the fourth. They've hit a heap of them. Their 12th three in the contest, but a large proportion of those coming down the stretch. A sixth win in the Basketball Champions League on the horizon for Aris Thessaloniki as they look to continue their push for the playoffs. A decent performance from Tόμas Lárke, who's played for the whole of the second half in foul trouble. 14 points for him. 4 in double figures for the Bears. 21 for Akún-Pursel. 14 for Darboe. And for Lárke, 12 for Gasell. They're going to fall short again though. Lárke down court, quick pass out to the perimeter, the three. It'll go on the hop. One more moment to celebrate for the Bears. And it's Aris's night in Aarhus though. They win it in the end by 14, 92 to 78. So Aris Thessaloniki go to 6-3, and after a 3-game slide, it's now back-to-back wins. Having started by winning their first 4 in this competition, they're looking like a team who can challenge for the top 4 or 5 places again, and a team that can go into the playoffs over the course of the next few weeks. Here's a breakdown of the shooting numbers: over 50% inside and 43% outside. The Bears' numbers pretty good compared to normal, but they, despite scoring 78 points, just couldn't limit Aris in their offensive play. Aris moving the ball well with 21 assists to the Bears' 13. The rebounding numbers very even. In fact, the Bears just getting the edge in terms of the overall numbers and the offensive rebounds, but assists key for Aris. All of the Bears, or many of the Bears' points, forced by 1- or 2-man basketball. Akún-Pursel, the personification of that, 21 points, so capable of attacking by himself, but despite a bit of help from a few more in double figures, it wasn't enough. Aris led by the 19 points of Gουίλ Κάμινγκς, who was 7 of 11 from the field. They also had 14 from Jenkins, who was 4 of 7 from downtown. They had 12 from Xanthopoulos, who was 3 of 3 from downtown, along with a team-high 7 rebounds and 5 assists. So the Báken Bears fall to 1-8 and remain glued to the foot of the Group A standings. Aris Thessaloniki march on, and maybe marching into the playoffs now. They move to 6-3 as they beat the Bears by 14, 92 to 78. It's been a pleasure having your company here. There are a number of games ongoing still around Europe this evening, and plenty more to come tomorrow as well, all available on livebasketball.tv, so do tune in to those. But from me, Tim Long, it's goodbye until tomorrow.